here is 5 common myths I hear in relation to irritable bowel syndrome or irritable bowel disease. You can call it IBS or IBD, it's basically the same thing. Number 1 is that it's its own disease process. That is false. Irritable bowel disease is when you have a collection of gut symptoms that basically your doctor can't put to any other pathology. There's no Crohn's disease evident, no ulcerative colitis or anything like that, but you're getting these gut symptoms, and conventional medicine likes to put everything in a box and be able to label it to diagnose it. But there is no medication or anything you can do to fix it, so it's not a true disease process. Irritable bowel disease is a collection of gut symptoms because something is going wrong in the gut. So we have to get to the underlying causes. Almost always there's leaky gut involved, and then we can look at what's driving that. Has someone got Lyme disease? Are they riddled with parasites? Are they holding onto a lot of chemicals and toxins? Are they destroying their gut through what they're eating? We have to go and find those underlying reasons, because then if you can heal those, the symptoms are going to go away, and then you don't have IBD or IBS anymore. So that's myth number 1. Myth number 2, I hear people say, if you have IBD, avoid gluten. Well, for some people this might improve them a little bit, but unless you're suffering from celiac disease, which is less than about 10% of people, gluten is probably not your issue. In fact, it's the lectins in the proteins in wheat that are more of a problem. So just avoiding gluten isn't going to do anything for you, and in fact most gluten-free foods are full of more sugars and other things anyway. If you're suffering from IBS or IBD and you haven't yet got to the root cause of the problem, I would be trying to avoid all lectins as best I could. And if you're not sure what a lectin is, it's a plant defense chemical. I've got some other videos on this, so just go and look up The Plant Paradox. It's a book by Dr. Stephen Gundry. He's the expert in this. But basically, every time you're eating wheat, it is tearing up your gut. So it's not the gluten, although taking out gluten will sometimes make people feel a little bit better in the short term. So until you fix the underlying cause, I would suggest you get rid of wheat completely. The third myth is avoid all dairy. Well, this is also one of those blanket statements that it's not necessarily true. Avoid most dairy and I would be fine with that. But there's different types of dairy. There's A1 and A2 producing cows. And if you get A2 milk or A2 cheese, which is specific cows have that, sheep and goats have that, most people don't react to the A2 dairy. It's the lactose in the A1 that wrecks our gut and inflames our body. Hey there, if you're struggling with gut health, I just wanted to let you know about my free Facebook gut health support group. You'll see it on the screen here. Just click the link and you can join that. We cover all sorts of more in-depth tips on what testing to do, how to deal with underlying biotoxins, things like that. So jump in the group, I'd love to have you in there. Anyway, back to the video. And a lot of people who are very sensitive to dairy can still do just fine with some more cured cheeses, especially like a grass-fed Parmesan cheese or something like that. Everyone's different. So you can't just take these blanket statements and say, oh, well, I'll do this for my IBS. It doesn't work. Which takes us to myth number 4, which is another blanket statement that you should go on a low-fiber diet. And you see all these different people saying you should do the FODMAP or you should do keto, or you should. Again, everyone's different. These blanket statements are terrible. I agree that limiting fibers that are full of lectins and high in oxalates is smart, because that's going to inflame your body and make everything worse. But there's a lot of really healthy vegetables and fruits and things out there that will give you great fiber intake without the lectins. On the vegetable side, you look at the tubers and the root vegetables like sweet potatoes. There's tons of fruits that are low in lectins. I mean, just avoiding a whole blanket of something, it's not what's going to help you. Again, if you have IBS or IBD, you've got to get the bottom of it, the root cause of it. And that takes me to myth number 5. I'll often hear people say it's caused by diet. Well, this is a half truth. Diet, as we've just talked about, can absolutely flare up your IBD symptoms, but it's very rarely the underlying cause. And even if you're eating a garbage diet full of fast foods and sugars and chemicals and lectins and all this stuff, yes, that's going to tear up your gut, but it's probably still whatever underlying cause you're attracting because of a very toxic internal environment that's really going to create the damage. Parasites will move into a toxic environment. Your body's going to struggle to detox. You're going to hold more metals, chemicals, things like that. So again, it's not that diet alone is causing it. The diet, think of that like gasoline. You're pouring that on a fire that's already burning. So what do you do if you have IBS or IBD? You must do the right testing, find yourself a functional medicine doctor or health practitioner who can get to the bottom of it. So clients I work with, we go and test how much leaky gut is going on through a leaky gut panel, sometimes a wheat zoomer to see how much damage wheat is causing them, because if it's causing a lot, we might get that out immediately. But then we also need to go and look at, well, what underlying causes do we think you have? And depending on your symptoms, gut and other, maybe there's headaches, brain fog, poor sleep, whatever it is, depending on those, we then know what we need to go and test for. Have you been exposed to mold, Lyme disease, you've got parasites, whatever it is, because when we find those problems and we help the body heal from those, why would you have any more IBS symptoms if your gut and your body is healing? They're just going to go away. So we've got to stop treating on the symptom level and get beneath the surface and treat the actual problem. So if you're looking to get the actual problem fixed, then just go into my description, click on the link that takes you to a discovery call with me, and we can do a 45-minute call and work out what the heck is going on, driving your symptoms, and let's get you a customized action plan to be able to get back on the road to fixing your health and becoming healthy again.